Hi everyone. Today I want to talk about how attraction actually works. Not dating tricks. Not tactics like how long you should wait before replying to a message or how to act on a date. This is a much deeper conversation. It's about how the human brain responds and why some people become irresistible without trying, while others try very hard and still fail. Let me say this clearly at the beginning. Most people who struggle in dating are not failing because they're not kind enough, not attractive enough, or not interesting enough. In many cases, it's the opposite. They are trying too hard to be liked. When someone tries too hard to be liked, they start adjusting themselves to the other person. They avoid conflict. They explain everything. They respond quickly. They prioritize the other person's schedule over their own. They do everything they think will make the other person feel safe and secure. On the surface, this sounds like the right thing to do. But this is where the problem begins. To understand why, we need to look at a classic psychology experiment involving monkeys. In this experiment, a monkey is placed in a box with a lever. When the monkey pulls the lever, it receives a treat. At first, the monkey pulls the lever by accident. A treat comes out. Very quickly, the monkey learns that this action leads to a reward. At this stage, the monkey behaves rationally. It pulls the lever only when it wants food. There's no obsession, no fixation, just a clear connection between action and reward. Then the researchers change the rules. Now sometimes when the monkey pulls the lever, a treat comes out. Sometimes nothing happens. The monkey has no way of knowing when the reward will appear. And this is where everything changes. The monkey starts pulling the lever more often. Even when no reward appears, it keeps pulling. It stays near the lever for long periods of time. It becomes fixated. Why does this happen? Because the monkey's brain starts thinking, it worked before, maybe it will work again next time. That expectation, the possibility of a reward, is what keeps the behavior going. The important point here is that the monkey is no longer driven by the treat itself. It is driven by uncertainty, by anticipation. Psychologists call this intermittent reinforcement. When rewards are unpredictable, behavior becomes extremely persistent. This same mechanism is used in gambling, social media, and video games. People don't get addicted because rewards are guaranteed. They get addicted because rewards are random. Now let's bring this back to dating. In romantic relationships, the lever is attention, affection, messages, interest, emotional validation, the feeling of being chosen. Most people, when they like someone, give all of this immediately. They show clear interest. They stay available. They make the other person feel completely secure. In terms of the experiment, this is the equivalent of giving the monkey a treat every single time it pulls the lever. What happens then? The other person feels calm, comfortable, safe, but not obsessed, not curious, not pulled in. This is where people misunderstand attraction. They think the solution is to be cold, to ignore messages, to play games. That's not what creates attraction. What creates attraction is unpredictability. Not emotional cruelty, but psychological space. People are drawn to what they can't fully read, to what they don't completely possess, to situations that leave room for thought. Someone who naturally attracts others behaves in a very specific way. They show interest, but they are not dependent. Time together feels good, but separation feels clean. They don't chase reassurance. They don't seek constant confirmation. Why does this work? Because attraction doesn't grow when you're being given everything. It grows when your mind is engaged. The monkey wasn't addicted while eating the treat. It was addicted while pulling the lever, wondering if the treat would come out. In the same way, attraction doesn't grow when you're together. It grows when you're apart, when the other person's mind starts filling in the gaps. This is where many people sabotage themselves. They feel anxious. They want certainty. They want to know where they stand. So they ask questions, send messages, explain feelings, and seek reassurance. But reassurance removes uncertainty. And when uncertainty disappears, attraction weakens. People who are deeply attractive rarely ask, "Do you like me?" Not because they don't care, but because their sense of value doesn't depend on the answer. This isn't something you can fake. It's not about waiting 3 hours to reply or pretending to be busy. It comes from actually having a life, a rhythm, a sense of self that exists independently of the other person. When someone sees that you are not orienting your entire world around them, their brain reacts differently. They start wondering where they fit into your life. This does not mean making the other person anxious. In fact, the most attractive people combine warmth with independence, being present without being attached, caring without clinging. This balance is what creates healthy attraction. Many people who say, "I gave everything and still wasn't chosen," believe they failed. They didn't. They simply removed all psychological space too early. Giving everything immediately doesn't create intimacy. It removes mystery. There is one more important warning here. This psychological mechanism is powerful, and when used incorrectly, it becomes manipulation. Creating constant uncertainty, withholding affection, or keeping someone emotionally unstable is not attraction, it's control. Real attraction doesn't make someone smaller. It doesn't make them anxious. It doesn't make them doubt their worth. The strongest form of attraction happens when someone feels calm in your presence, yet curious in your absence. Attracting someone is not about controlling their behavior. It's about living in a way that naturally invites others into your world. When your life has depth, structure, and direction, people feel it. They don't chase you because you ignore them. They lean toward you because your life has gravity. And when attraction grows this way, relationships stop being about pursuit and start being about mutual choice. That is the difference between being desired and being depended on.